Hi everybody, welcome to Live Sessions. Welcome to 2023. Yay! We made it. So, I'm in a different space today because I'm unable due to the snow to get to the other space. So, I'm in a new space, but I wanted to welcome everybody and welcome to the third year. We're going on 3 years of LMS. Can anybody believe that? And like almost, I think we're actually at 400 artists, somewhere near there. So it's unbelievable. Thank you to all the artists. Thank you to everybody that's joined in. Thank you to all of the audience that's continued to join in. It is just unbelievable that you guys have been supporting for 3 years. So I'm so excited. I'm going to go actually sit on a different seat because I feel like that one is not going to be so good for my back. So tonight we have Trechea, or known on their Instagram as Trechea Sound. And so I'm super excited to have them on because they are just such an interesting sound to me, and I love it. And I'm interested to talk about it. So, anyways, also, I'll bring them on in just 1 second. I also want to say that we have openings starting for June, the first week of June, and all the way to December. So if you know any bands that want to get some exposure, if you are a band yourself or artist, I definitely have openings. So be sure to DM me and all that good stuff. Because, I love to bring y'all on. So, without further ado, I see that they're on here, so let's bring them on. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going, guys?
Oh, it's going.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, of course. And I'm excited actually to talk to you guys because I actually got to listen to your sound a little bit today and a couple of days ago, but just to kind of get an idea. But also I kind of really dived into it today, and man, like some awesome grooves, guys. Like just good melody and like I don't know. I'm so into it. Like just it's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for your nice words. That's fucking awesome.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's different, it's definitely a unique sound, which is what I always appreciate, because I hate it when groups are kind of like everybody else, you know what I mean? So I appreciate Lily, stop. I just got a new kitten, and my dog seems to think it's a batting board, and so
That's
I
awesome.
was hoping they weren't this. They were sleeping, and now they're not because I'm talking. So that's fantastic. Anyways, I'm kind of curious how you guys came up with your sound and like where it all began, where it started, where you guys actually started in music, like as a kid. Like, can you give us kind of the beginning?
I guess I'll go first. Sure. Well, I started off with the guitar around like junior high. But that was mostly into like rhythm guitar and with like indie rock, alternative focuses, like Death Cab for Cutie,
Yeah.
Muse, White Stripes and stuff. And like I've known Wes here for like, oh my goodness, 12 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's always just been a keen interest to collaborate from time to time, but it wasn't until like last year when I acquired rehearsal space. Wes just came back from his cross-country road trip and looking for stuff to
Ooh, how
do and asked to join. And then it just kind of took off from there because we were able to find a happy medium, and you can elaborate on that happy medium if you'd like.
Yeah, totally. For me personally, I didn't have the same musical background that Trevor did. So a lot of this was him kind of, teaching me more about music. And then at the same time, finding new ways to express myself, because obviously, he's trained on guitar, but he's also trained piano, so he's been able to help me. But I run a synth, which has been my own personal journey. As far as influences go, I guess like my first love with music. I always liked music, but like my first fell in love with a Japanese DJ called Nuja Bez. Yeah, he passed away not too long ago, but I think I remember hearing that as like a kid and like crying. Like, oh my God, there's no music. It's good. But yeah, as far as like how our sound developed, I think from the get-go, like the foundation of this project was to be like very loose. We're doing it for fun. We're trying to see like what happens when we do what we like and don't, press too hard to get something like a specific way. So
well, definitely for sure. Yeah. So not coming from a musical background, was it kind of, did you just have to full on trust Trevor, or was that like something that like you kind of had to build up to, or was it like, whatever, I'm just gonna jump in?
A little bit of the last part and a lot of it of like trusting Trevor. And I know I can trust Trevor. Like, one, he has a lot of people. Like, whenever we're in the scene, like, people know like, oh yeah, Trevor knows his shit. Also, like, didn't you go to school for it?
I dabbled. Just my associates, no big deal.
So humble.
But actually, that kind of makes an interesting segue into like at least my personal philosophy with Trechea is like after my initial education, an attempt at like a solo career, or not career, but a solo project, and then finally like getting an EP out for it, which like for me felt like it just took too long, hoarding onto those songs for 10 years, then finally getting to record them and publish them, have them like put out there. All the while like just not really having what felt like any new material or anything fully developed, just something like on the back burner while waiting for that. And so with this, and while that happens, like you listen to like what is happening now, like I'm almost lost my thought there, but like being involved in the local, getting to meet the local scenes, seeing what's going on. Like big shout out to like Power Strip, Aaron Lanfer and his project Lasting, and then Sweet Creature, where it was like this sort of structureless ambience to it, like just felt very invigorating to not being so like hitting a roadblock in the sound structure of songs. And then when with that approach, it was like a big weight off of me when collaborating with Wes here, because like it allowed me to not only not necessarily throwing everything I know out of music, but just coming back to like basic principles of improv, which I've had experience with, and just tuning into what both of us are doing.
How did you guys, was that collaboration just kind of seamless when you started, or was it like something that you kind of had to keep kind of working at and then you found your groove?
I would say like over the accumulation of like 12 years of knowing each other and trying through trial and error, it was like third time's the charm sort of thing. Like when we got to this time last year, starting to jam, and then being more or less just letting it flow, seeing what happens. It was like, it felt like all that time led up to this. And would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I remember like when we first jammed, it was kind of like dipping our toes and finding out like, ooh, I like the way that feels. But then like as we kept going, we found this very unique way of like performing. That it, I mean, like when anybody collaborates, it always brings out a part of you that you don't expect. You know, I really like that about your project.
Yeah, that's amazing. What going into your EP, like what were the thoughts going into that? Like was it a concept or that you'd already had or was it kind of developed or how did you go into your EP wanting to make that?
Well, the EP was for a solo project, and like it was a gimmick of like going to open mics, playing as a solo artist, even though I wanted to have a band.
Yeah.
But bands are harder to form when the older you get. Um, so it would be like I signed up with Trevor Williams and his imaginary friends. And
Right.
so then I would play my songs, play the covers, and pretend there was like a band on board with me. But then like as the songs I wrote, like I was kind of listing them off and seeing the underlying themes. They kind of added to that with like the songs being these sort of caricatures, and each one having like some sort of subtitle like man child, hopeless romantic, boy toy, which is the titular song if you want to look it up. But then like
Yeah.
but then the name of itself just became from me and my imaginary friends to just your imaginary friends.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so
mean, truthfully, I think that's kind of genius because I think as a solo performer, that's if you're well versed on the guitar and can do loops and all that kind of stuff and make it seem like there's a whole band. I think that's a brilliant, like hilarious thing to say, like me and my imaginary friends are here playing. You know, I think the concept is brilliant is what I'm trying to say.
thank you.
Yeah. So like what's happening now that you guys are doing now with the band? Like is it in moving forward?
Um, we, I mean, first of all, Wes has been working on his own EP, so I think
Oh,
that
congrats.
he deserves his own little spotlight there about that because
How about
um,
that
I,
after we play the song? You want to talk about it?
Sure.
Okay.
okay,
Might as
yeah.
well, you're here.
Yeah. Let's get it out of the way.
And as far as like that, Wes actually just started going to school, so we after the summer we took a bit of a break so we could focus on that. The last show we performed at the Blue Moon Tavern in Seattle, we did like humor the idea of actually coming up with some original compositions, or at least stuff that I've been meaning to talk about is bringing stuff that wasn't fully developed during my solo project and bringing them to Trechea. But right now it's just we got some fun stuff coming along the way. Yeah. As far as shows, like we literally just got a text from a friend that asked us to play with them in March. But that's about it. It is really just like no matter what happens, like we'll be able to like pick up where we left off by just being like, you want to go practice today, and then we'll just do our thing, and then that's more or less the gist of it, at least in my opinion. You got any thoughts on it?
Agreed. We're very loose when it comes to making music. Like all the songs we've
Yeah.
been right now, it's been like, hey, let's make something, and then we'll start jamming, and if we like how it
Yeah.
sounds, do a little bit of editing, and then yeah.
Is that kind of the process? Like just chill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it tonight, and have been whenever we're ready for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Sorry. Gosh.
Guess.
Like having toddlers, you know? Like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I thought I got out of that stage. My dog's 2, and I was like, oh, I'm perfectly out of it, and she'll just keep her occupied. Turns out she regressed into being a toddler again, and
Oh.
like, it's just crazy. Anyway, sorry. So, yeah, I think you guys should play. I'm excited to hear what you guys play, and if you want to play a little bit, and then we'll talk a little about your project after, and maybe a little bit after that, and then we'll be good.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We can get started while I grab everything. Yeah.
How's sound on your end?
Yeah, that's what we were wondering about while we were getting ready.
Yeah. I mean, you guys talking is just fine. Sound can be different due to like distortion, but if you start playing, I'll give you up or thumbs down, and we can go from there.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I had it muted. So that's awesome. I think it's such like great, and this is not to sound mean, okay? It's great like background, and phone. Uh, it's great to give like an ambiance, like if you're just wanting this like soothing meditation kind of, because I do meditations and they kind of sound that way too, and I think it's great. Like I'm completely all for it, and it sounded great, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
Wasn't it Satie, the French composer, that first coined like the idea of like not muzak or ambiance, but like they would like compose piano pieces based upon like the type of room that like the party is supposed to be set in or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, that kind of comes to mind. People have said it's like very much something along the lines of like meditate to.
yeah,
One local artist called Burnt gave us a listen, called it Sound Bath. So yeah.
yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, yeah. Katie Wade says that the vibes are on point.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, I could literally just kind of sit and listen and just let it be a vibe, a moment, a moment of zen. So I appreciate it a lot. So why don't we talk about your solo project, Wesley, since you're here? Why don't we take a stab at it?
Yeah, of course. So right now I'm set to try and release it sometime mid-March. It's an EP called Murder, 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 and my project name is AFM.
Okay.
A.F.M. I'm on SoundCloud, and that's it. Yeah, it's definitely a departure. You can kind of just see. Oh no, are they okay?
Come here. Come here. Sorry.
No, of course.
I think she got. Yeah, it's okay. There's a pound outside. It's okay. She's kind of the protector of the world. Hey, you're okay. We got people on. Yeah, Megs, Megs and Katie are both good friends of mine and musicians in the area, and they both know my dog, so they're both, yeah. Doggo's upset the music ended. I agree. Anyway, so to get back to you, that's really cool. What made you want to name it Murder, Murder, Murder? I feel like that's kind of like aggressive.
Yeah, it's definitely like a vibe, because I think that's like where me and Trevor come together on a lot of our sounds. When I normally make music, I use a lot of sample drum beats, electronic drum beats, and I try to make it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But when me and Trevor are playing, I only have my synth and he has a guitar, so things just tend to come out a lot more calm and smooth.
Yeah.
But I guess Murder, Murder, Murder just came. Literally, I was sleeping in bed and I saw an image in my head and I was like, okay, that's it.
I mean, it grabs people's attention for sure. It grabs mine. Yeah. So I hope it lives up to that, because I'm excited to hear it. We'll have to have you guys back on so you can play some.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for
listening party.
Yeah.
Party.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can like start out slow with you guys and then have a party at the end.
Yeah. Cool.
Get everybody in a groove.
Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, I know this kind of defeats the framework of a normal interview, but I also wanted to ask questions about you and this project that you've been working on.
Okay. Well, I'm currently working on my own music. Katie Wake and I actually write music together, so we're currently working on that, and it's kind of an ongoing process at this point. But I'm looking to expand this show. It's kind of a business, and so I'm trying to expand that, and that's kind of where I'm at this point. I just moved a couple months ago, middle of nowhere, and that day I literally had a cougar walk through my backyard, so that was fun. Yeah.
Luckily your dog was there.
Yeah. Luckily my dog is here. I don't know how much good she would do against a cougar, but you know.
Her best. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so I continue. I'm a musician too. I'm a musician about as long as Trevor has, since I was like 9. And yeah, I just continue to write me. I just continue to write songs with Katie um and Megs. I've written songs with Megs too. I have a song that we recorded and released in 2020. So if you want to hear that, I can send it to
Yeah.
you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't get the tables turned very often.
Lady Susans.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's easier for me to, like interview everybody, because like I'm also in your same boat, so it's
Yeah.
easy for me to like um connect in that way, I guess.
I fucking love it. I mean, you doing this, you're literally providing a service for the community, like that's totally irreplaceable. I love this, dude. This is fucking awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing it. In September will be 3 years. So, and I
Yeah.
have I put shows on too in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I have artists come out and that have been on the show and they get to play. Katie has been one of them that's played. And I have it's been pretty much a good success in the last 2 years. This year I'm branching out to do 2 shows, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
But
Do you
yeah,
live close to Tacoma?
I know. I
No.
live on the east side. I live
Oh shit.
I know. I live 10 minutes from the Canadian border. So like if this was the
Oh,
border, I'm like right here. And this is Seattle.
oh my
So
goodness.
yeah.
Well, when the zombie apocalypse comes, you're ready. Just hop on the boat. You're good.
Yeah. I'm gonna be one of the last people they go for sure.
Nice. Good shit. Good shit.
But I come back to Seattle because I used to go to like 30 shows a month or 20 shows a month, something. And so I've been involved in the Seattle scene myself as a musician playing I did it for the first couple of years from 19 until I was like 23. And then the last 15 years or so, I've been just seeing music strictly. And so it was always my thing. But yeah, it's been weird not going to shows. That's been the hardest part. But this keeps me going and I still keep in touch with everybody. So it's a lot of fun either way. But yeah, I spend my summers in Seattle so I can come and see everybody play the most.
Cool. Badass.
Yeah.
How's the music scene on the east side?
It's mostly in Seattle. It's mostly in Spokane. That's really where you'll find most of the musicians. There are a couple here in Colville, but it's nothing like Seattle. Like there's just, and this is my like first year trying to kind of dive into this side of Washington. Like I know Seattle pretty well, and I know a lot of the musicians in Seattle, but over on this side, I'm not very well versed. So it remains to be seen. I know there's a lot in Coeur d'Alene, and I know there's a lot in Spokane. So hopefully I can bring some of them on.
Oh, for sure. I'd love to hear like the eastern side, like come over to Seattle with you in the summer.
Yeah. It's so nice out here and just rural. So like, I'm hoping I can bring a show out here too, and maybe find some property where somebody will let us have like a camp out and just have like a festival during the day or something. So, that would have a lot of people out here and have musicians come that. So it makes it worth their while driving 7 hours.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I love it here, but I definitely do miss going to shows. It's different, but I still get to do this. So, that's the good part about it. But thank you for saying that and for asking.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, I'm so excited you guys came on. I really want to know where you got the name Trechea from. I mean, obviously we know what it is, but like, what made you want to name your band that?
Very interesting question because it's not as cut and dry as it sounds. I think our first name was a combination of both of our nicknames in high school. Trevor's was Treasure, and mine was Key because my first name's Keenan. So people call me Key. So we combined those to make Treasure Key, and after a while we just shortened it to Trechea. I don't know where the L came from.
Okay, I see it. I get
it.
I'm with it. Yeah. I think I get where you got it, but I still think Treasure Key was a cool dynamic, though. That would have been a cool name. Maybe a second project.
Ooh, yeah. He'll play synth guitar.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on, and
Yes,
you're
thank you.
fantastic and great. And please come back.
Oh yeah, well, we'll keep you updated with stuff going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And if you are looking for something like us for your shows, like, we'll be there.
Yeah, 100%. I'm already trying to figure that out. Like, but I really feel like it would be so much fun to have you guys play live. So, and I think you guys should come back when you have more music out. Like, I'm always down to have everybody back with new music. So just let me know.
We'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, please go and follow them, and be sure to, each of them individually, follow them as a group. If you want to stream them, go ahead and do that too, because they're amazing. And I say, as always, just support your local artists. We want them to stick around, so support them. And if you have any questions, let me know or let them know. So, you guys have anything else you want to say before we go?
We got some stuff. If following our Instagram and SoundCloud, that'd be cool. And if you want to ever get a chance to meet us in person, we have some stuff coming up. Every month or so, we do what's called a noise night. A friend of ours in Tacoma. It's like an open jam session where it's very ambient and sound bathy. That our next one is going to be January 26th. Obscura Arcana Tea Shop off of MLK Drive in Tacoma,
Yep.
6 to 9. Then February we are supposed to be doing something called Modular Night, which is very like synth oriented. It's like get together.
Okay.
And then March 18th, we will be playing with Cellophane Eyes and Yakub at the Mad Hatter Tea Shop. And their new location, apparently, like, they're an institution, but they've had to change location over the course of the pandemic. So so I'm looking forward to that, finally getting to check on that. Yeah.
So you got some stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Definitely out. It's a vibe. Like, just bring. I feel like it would be such a vibe to like just put your music on and just sit and like
drink tea.
Yes.
a lot of tea drinking.
It just be like, it's such a vibe. I love it. My best friend is gonna love it, and I'm definitely gonna share it with her because your kind of music is right up her alley. So I'm definitely on top of that. But I really thank you guys for coming on. Please come back. Everybody go check them out and support. And yeah, that's all I got for today, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. Have a good night. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone who came.
Next week.
And I hope your back feels better soon.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We had a short show today, guys, because my I fell today in the snow. Yay for living in or yesterday, sorry, and it has been a pain. So literally, so we had a short show today, but I promise I will have them back for a longer show, and we can, have them on longer. So, Anyway, but thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Talk to you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Bye.